What's up, everybody? This is Francis over here from PE Reviews and PlayerEssence.com, and today we have another episode of Just Games. And this episode is going to be fantastic because today we're going to be talking about The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Now, this game, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this game. You know why I have a love-hate relationship? Because you know what I love about the game? This. Not necessarily the Wiimote controls, but the actual Wiimote that I got with the Collector's Edition. And yes, the Collector's Edition here comes with this Wii Remote, comes with soundtrack. It's actually really expensive on eBay right now, and I can sell it for a lot, but I'm not going to because I love having this as a collector's item. But anyway, to get to the actual game. Now, this game does use the motion controls. This is probably one of the most motion-heavy Wii games out there. It was really touted as, you know, you can use the sword one-to-one controls. You know, everybody remembers the infamous demo at E3. I think it was 2010 or 2011, one of those two, where Miyamoto got up there and it didn't work because of all the different devices in there, because of the IR from the Wii. But once you got it at home, the controls work just fine. You slash in any direction. Link also copies those moves. It's very accurate. It's very good. Now, that being said, I am not huge on motion controls, I'll be honest. And it goes all around, from the PlayStation Move to the Kinect to the Wii. I'm not huge on motion controls, and I'm not huge on games that use a ton of motion control. And especially for a classic franchise like Zelda, Skyward Sword, you know, Zelda just in general, I kind of like to play the game more traditionally, more of a button-based game. And I think that's why possibly Wind Waker is one of my favorite. It actually is my favorite. But that didn't detract me from the game too much. I think one of the issues that I have with The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was just basically the structure. I like the way Twilight Princess and I like the way Wind Waker HD and Wind Waker, how you moved about, how you got around from, you know, either on horseback or in your boat. I just think those were better hub worlds, and in Wind Waker HD's case, a complete full world. But that's not to say Skyward Sword is bad. You know, you fly around from place to place. You have you're on your bird and you fly around, and then you drop down into the areas. It seems like you're kind of going back into the same areas a lot, and there's new different ways that you can get to. But I kind of like just basically going to somewhere new each time and discovering that new place. I felt that Wind Waker HD perfectly captured the essence of the previous Zelda games, and also adding in new elements. And I feel Skyward Sword, really, the new elements that they added into the game weren't as impactful, but they were still great. And I think they really focused on the motion controls, which are really good. And I think that's why it took them so freaking long to make another game. You know, from Twilight Princess all the way, it took 5 years to get Skyward Sword out, as you can see it playing in the back here. If some of you guys can maybe see it playing on the back here on my gamepad. But like I said, it's not a horrible game, and I think there's plenty of things that it does well. I like the little RPG elements they added in there. I wish they could have took it further, and I hope maybe the next Zelda will actually add some type of leveling or progression system in the game. But Skyward Sword did a lot of things right. I like the fact that you can collect the different items and upgrade your weapons. That stuff's really cool. That shows some progression, kind of like an RPG, just a little bit, you know. And I like that they did that. That was really cool. I really like the graphical style. I think the game looks good for for what the Wii could muster. I think the graphical style is cool. I also like the items in the game. I think a lot of the items are really well made, like the little blow thing that you have where it blows like sand and stuff like that. There's a lot of really cool items and how you can upgrade those weapons and, you know, stuff like that. All of that's really cool, like I said, but just for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the motion controls. Just in general, I'm not a huge fan of motion controls, but I think for me it just kind of got a little repetitive as far as like slashing every single time. Like I said, it was still fun, and I still really like the game. I think the game is fantastic, but overall, if I was to give it a score, this is not an official review, but if I was to basically give it a score, because I have played it, I do love the game, I would definitely give it an 8.5. I think that it's not quite as good as some of the other Zelda games. I personally like Twilight Princess, and I like some of the other games a little bit more, Wind Waker HD, Ocarina of Time, but I still think this is one of the most unique games out there. It's one of the best Wii games out there, definitely by far top 5 Wii games out there, and it's easily one of the best motion controlled games that you can play on any system. I think it does a fantastic job mixing in the classic Zelda formula with motion controls to try to carve its own path, and I know a lot of people really love that game for that. My brother is a fanatic of this game. Me and him talk about it all the time. We go back and forth. But I'm not knocking on anybody who likes this game. It's definitely a great great game. But for me, it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily what I wanted completely, but I still love the game. Now, what do you guys think about Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword? How does it rank up to you guys? You guys let me know. You guys don't have to agree with me. I just want discussion. I want to talk about games. That's why we keep this Just Gaming, Just Games. So let me know what you guys think about that. Make sure you check out my last episode on Lost Odyssey, which is an RPG for the Xbox 360 that surprised a lot of people who actually got a chance to play. So make sure you check that out. That will be in the description below. Also, make sure you check out playeressence.com for all your news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, as we got new news, new information, all of the stuff, all of the modern gaming news that you would like. We have that all there on playeressence.com. Also, make sure you like us on Facebook, like this video if you can, share with your friends, subscribe if you're someone new, get that subscriber count up. Let's build the community. And you know what? We will see you guys next time for the next episode of Just Games. Peace.